Edward! Edward! Edward, switch over to the Hartley modulator. Do you copy?
Switching now. How's this?
Oh, that's done it. Edward, what's going on there?
We're under attack. They're inside the building.
Inside? Can you keep them out of the basement?
I'm trying, Jack. I've never seen raiders. For God's sake, Sammy, the doorway, right there. Sorry. Things are a little busy around here right now.
Listen, if they're inside the building, you have to go to the office and shut down the elevator. You can't risk them getting to Lorenzo.
Got it. Office. Elevator. You better round up whoever you can and get...
Hello? Edward? Come in. Edward! Ah, there's no signal at all. I've lost him.
What's happening, Jack? If these people are inside Parsons, if they free him...
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
I always knew it would end this way. I never should have allowed you to lock up Lorenzo in that place.
That isn't helping, Mother. And as I recall, using the serum was your idea, not mine.
So what are you going to do?
I said I'll handle it.
All right, enough story, Smarty Jack.
going on?
Come on, let's go. What's going on?
He's at Parsons, the old asylum. They're under attack by raiders. It's strange. The guards have held off raiders before without any trouble. I don't know what's gone wrong this time.
I found Emma Jean. She's fine.
Oh, yes, good.
Thank God. At least one small comfort on this terrible day.
You'll be wanting to be paid, of course. Edward usually handles these things. Caps is what you use for currency, isn't that right? Here. I hope that's the right amount. Now, we really need to focus on the current emergency.
How can you be so callous about your sister's safety?
I wonder if these could be the same raiders that stole that last shipment. If some of them had used the undiluted serum, it could explain their unusual success against Edward's men.
What exactly does this serum do?
I suppose it's time you knew. The main benefit of the serum is to halt aging. My family and I are all over 400 years old. But it also confers other side effects, especially in the undiluted form that the raiders stole. It increases strength and resistance to all kinds of physical damage. So at least some of these raiders may be much more dangerous than the ones you're used to dealing with.
If you're 400 years old, then you were born before the Great War.
Yes, I think you were too. I'd say mid-21st century?
That's right. I was in cryosleep until recently.
Interesting. We'll have to talk more about that later, but time presses. Is there anything else before we get going?
I think it's time you told me what's really going on at Parsons.
You're right. It's past time you knew.
Jack, are you sure it's wise telling him all this?
My father, Lorenzo Cabot, is confined in Parsons. He became dangerously unstable after handling an artifact he found on an archaeological dig in Arabia. He gained various seemingly paranormal powers, as well as becoming increasingly irrational and violent. In the end, I had no choice but to confine him, for his own safety, as well as ours. In the course of my attempts to cure him, I discovered that the artifact had introduced anomalies into his blood. So the source of his insanity is also the basis of the treatments that have prolonged all our lives. The irony isn't lost on me, but if he were to escape from Parsons, I would lose my father forever. I will not allow that to happen. Not to mention that the artifact has made him paranoid, homicidally violent, and endowed with extraordinary abilities.
Okay. What kind of abilities?
Exactly what abilities does he have?
Enhanced strength, unusual resistance to most kinds of physical damage. Oh, and a kind of local telekinesis, which appears to be projected by the artifact itself. That's why I've built a dampening field into his cell. Which is why we really need to stop these intruders before they turn it off. Before we go, I need you to understand something. When we get to Parsons, you need to do exactly what I tell you. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that clear?
Got it.
Good. Make sure you have whatever you'll need for a serious battle. I'll wait for you outside.
Jack, be careful. And Try not to hurt him.
I love Father at least as much as you do. But you know as well as I do that if he gets free, there will only be one option.
Don't let it come to that, please.
I'll do my best, Mother. And if Imogene finally comes home, for God's sake, don't let her leave again until I get back. Now, I really do have to go.
I don't need anything right now, thank you.
Wow, epic story smory of Witcher 3 proportions. Okay, sorry about that. It's part of the game. Gonna get back into combat very shortly.
Let's go. Just to be clear, under no circumstances can we allow Lorenzo to...
Yeah. We'll meet you there. We just leveled up, and this is an important leveling up. This is leveling up to level 28, and at level 28 we can get the Science Rank 3 perk. This is very, very important. Science Rank 3. Let's get that right now, and then I'm going to take you back to Sanctuary and show you what you can do with that. Sanctuary. What the hell is going on here? Let me get into my combat gear just in case. Okay, let me sleep till morning just in case as well.
I got word of a settlement that needs our help.
Oh,
I'll
gee,
mark it
what
on
a
your map.
surprise.
Go find out what they need. We can use
Okay.
more settlements supporting our
Tabling
cause.
that for a later date. With the Science Rank 3 perk, we can make one of the best, okay, I'm saying not the best, one of the best weapons in the game, which is the 6 crank short laser musket. And I think I accidentally sold my laser musket. I just remember this. I know this isn't a practice round. Let me just quickly go through here and see if I have a laser musket. The laser musket is a weapon that you found right at the very beginning in front of the Museum of Freedom when you first rescued the Minutemen. You know what? There's a laser musket for the taking right in front of Elder Maxon on the Pridwin. Let's go grab it. Yeah, the Pridwin right here. Let's go there. Alright. Right here at Elder Maxon's feet.
You have your assignment.
This should be all. Yeah.
Move out.
Yeah, grab that up. Free laser musket if you don't have one, or if you accidentally sold yours like I did mine. Alright, back to Sanctuary. Let's mod this sucker up.
What do you need, General?
Nothing. Just for you to leave me alone for a few minutes.
What are you
Jeez.
building?
Check this guy out, eh? It's like it's right in your face. What are you doing? Can I do that? Can I pull that button? Okay, so modding up the laser musket. We can now, with Science Rank 3, put the 6 crank capacitor on it. I'm going to
Stay
show you
sharp.
exactly
Don't
what
let
that
your guard
means in a minute. Okay, let's put that on. What else do we want? We want the bracketed long barrel. And how about the full stock?
Do I look like I want to chit-chat?
Medium scope. This is going to be our new heavy-hitting sniper rifle, okay? And finally, the gyro compensating lens. Everybody quiet here. We're doing a walkthrough. Come on.
As honest work gets.
And also, let's mod up the Old Faithful as well, since this is going to affect
Track how many blisters I got.
what kind of mods we can put on that too. Let's dump off some stuff here. I picked up some stuff by accident, or not by accident, but on the way. Pipe bottle pistol, don't need that. We're going to rename this targeting 6 crank laser musket to the 6 crank power blaster. Yeah. That's going to replace the Tinker Tom. We're no longer going to be silent sniping, but that won't really make much of a difference. So let's just throw that in and take out Old Faithful, which is that laser weapon that does double damage if the target is at full health. Alright? This is going to be a great close combat weapon. It's really a toss-up between this and the Overseer's Guardian. The Overseer's Guardian does more damage, but this one, once you get it modded up, the recoil control on it is just spectacular. I find it hard to use the Overseer's Guardian in favor of this Old Faithful once it's modded up. Let's mod it up right now. Old Faithful long shot. We're going to be now that we've got Science Rank 3, we can put the
some real
overcharged
trouble
capacitor in it.
I hope
And
it
we
can
are
help.
short some adhesive. Let's go make some.
Hi, how are you?
Everybody, get to work. Let's sleep till morning. This is enough of this. Somebody blathering in my ear. Hi, how you doing? Can I do that? What are you making? There we go, morning time. Get to work, attaboy. Everybody to work, leave me alone.
Here in Sanctuary, prepared for the future.
Let's put this guy to work too. Do you have a task? No, you do not have a task. You, Vault-Tec rep. I know back in the old world, you were into sales, but now you're into farming, alright? Alright, now, let us mod in peace. Old Faithful. Oh yeah, what was I going to do? Make some adhesive. I'm short on adhesive. These are very distracting here. Okay, over to the cooking station. By the way, if you didn't level up, right, okay, just things didn't work out for you, but you're just short of leveling up, you can always make some food to level up. You know that, right? Okay. Down to utility, vegetable starch. Let's make 5. Let's make 6. What the hell? Make some food or cook some drugs. Those are great ways of leveling up if you're just short. Alright, now, Old Faithful long shot. Overcharged capacitor. This will boost the damage. And I want to take off the sniper barrel and put the improved long barrel on it instead, okay? The sniper barrel will do more damage, but as I explained in an earlier video, if I recall correctly, it takes time to recharge to full damage when you put the sniper barrel on it. So since this is going to be like a close to medium range combat weapon, we don't have to want to wait to recharge the weapon. So we're going to put the improved long barrel on it. There we go. And what else do I want? The recoil compensating stock right down here. That sucker. How about a nice reflex sight? There we go. And finally, the gyro compensating lens to help with the recoil even more, since we don't really need greater range, right? And we have the mod for that. So there we go. That's our new Old Faithful. We're going to rename it, since it's a close combat weapon now, rename it the Old Faithful Midtown. And let's rename this one the 6 Crank Power Blaster. Boy, yeah, that's a new loadout. Okay, let's get everybody hotkeyed up. The Deliverer, you are yeah, you stay there. Our new 6 Crank Power Blaster is going to be our new sniper rifle, alright? This is going to be our new close combat weapon, and the recon fakie stays as it is. Now the Power Blaster. Crank this sucker up. You now pile 6 shots into one, alright? 6 shots into one. It does 51 damage. Do the math. It will now do 306 damage per shot once you crank it up fully, alright? And piling some sneak attack damage and whatnot, and you're cranking out a lot of damage. Yeah, a lot of damage. It's one of the best weapons in the game. I think the only weapon that outdoes it with, as far as just sheer amount of damage, is the Ghost Rifle. But the Ghost Rifle isn't as accessible as this. Alright, so that's it. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Our next task is to go on down to the Parsons State Insane Asylum, hook up with Jack Cabot, and we're going to play nursemaid to him as he goes running through there to get down into the depths to hook up with, well, I don't want to do any spoilers. We'll just, you know, find out what happens when we get there. So it is now 9:22 in the morning. We should get there in the daytime. It doesn't matter because we're going indoors.